Hello everyone and welcome back to another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever cast. Today I've got a 3v3 for you, fresh off of the ladder, featuring yours truly. Now I've actually been playing quite a lot of FAF recently. Not everyone who casts plays, but I've been playing quite a lot of games. This is one of my games from just yesterday. I've been spamming ladder games. I've even entered a tournament, believe it or not. Not that I'm actually getting good. I want to point out that very clear. I'm not actually getting good at the game. But I have been playing quite a lot with some friends, and I've been enjoying it. As you can see, I am over here, and this I've ended up filthy red Cybran today. Look at that. Not really very me, but that's what happens when you play random faction on ladder. Sometimes you end up playing Cybran. It's a shame, but you know, it is what it is. So we've got two teams. We've got blue on the left side here. We got red on the right hand side. We'll start with our highest rated player, Voodoo. He's over here going for a Hydro Rush, as you would expect. Very simple Hydro Rush build. He's actually opted for a PGN first, probably going for an early mechs upgrade, which is quite smart considering how sparse the mechs are. He's got kind of like two potential expansions here. If he gets both, he'll be laughing, but his teammate will suffer. In the top left-hand corner, we've got Freshy, also going for a Hydro Rush with one PGen into second land. And the lowest rated player, we've got Frozen Bite, which is quite a, considering he's a blue, icy blue Cybran, that is a very thematic name. Obviously, probably not intentional, but it is thematic, so we like that. And he's actually in a carry slot. If you look at the amount of mexes he's got here, he's got 4, 8, 12, 16... He's got 20 mexes, basically, in his square of the map here, versus 5, 6, 7, 8... So he's double the mexes of his opponent here. So this is very much a carry slot. He's even got this lovely UEF town here to reclaim or genocide, as we like to say in Supreme Commander. So a few of these towns out on the map. So let's go through my team of glorious Chads. And it is, of course, my team because I am actually the highest rated player on Team 2 here. We've got BoeHOnacHocTe. I'm not sure if that's Russian, if it means something else in Cyrillic, but he's a Seraphim. He's the only Seraphim in the game. What's he going? Double land. He's got some idle engineers here. Not the end of the world. Splitting out, getting his mexes. He is actually reclaiming, which is good to see. He set a patrol route to do that. Then I'm in this red Cybran cod piece. I'm going for a land factory, another land factory, two at the same time. What is my mass doing? Not the end of the world, boys. Actually, it seems like semi-decent eco. Going for an air factory. I'm in the middle, so I probably should be making some air. But these maps are always complicated. You know, you never know whether you should be rushing T3 air on a 12.5. Probably not. You're going to get crushed if you do, right? So mass-wise, dead even. Energy-wise, slight advantage to our team down here. Now, on the top right-hand corner, we've got Chucklebun5. Now, that is a name, truly, that will strike fear into the hearts of the enemy. He is playing in a lovely red UEF, and he's building his factories adjacent to this mechs. He's already got a run-by here. He's let a run-by in, which is unfortunate. He's going to lose a lot of engineers to that. And I'm about to get first bombered. Lovely. Not actually a first bomber, but you know what I mean. Is that stop micro, or is he just not giving it orders? I suspect that was a slight issue on the orders. Please don't bomb my engineers, you monster. Why would you do this to me? I'm an innocent man. No dodge at all. Ah! No, the dodge was pointless. No, don't do my engineer. No! That is a very sad day for me right there. So this is on, what, 5 engineers already. Crippled me. Crippled me. No. Don't worry, boys. I'm only stalling mass a little bit. Not the end of the world. I do have an inti out, but it's a bit late. Freshy starts this raid here. That's going to be doing well for his team. Are we able to put any raid pressure on? Well, I figured my opponent will be in the middle of the map, and he is. So I've sent my raids down here. So I'm going to be counter-raiding against Frozen Bite, the lowest rated player. That is cyberbullying, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm getting bullied in return here. My inti seems to be chasing. Please. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. That's it, get him. That's it, nice. Hashtag locked. So Chucklebun's got his units up here, but they're... I mean, really, he could go for a counter push, but this PD is very well placed. This is a very nice PD from Freshy. The bombers, this is going to be a nice bomb. Picks up a couple of Mantis, but not going to be able to do too much about that. This raid, again, managed to get past the engineer there. Didn't manage to kill it, which is unfortunate. Mantis comes in. Please tell me I killed that. No! No, don't reclaim me! Oh, look at the micro. What a monster. If you aren't playing 3v3, highly recommend getting on the 3v3 ladder games. They are good fun. Especially if you join with friends, you can get people in a party. Some nice bombing here, but this has forced a Tech 1 air turret. Anti-air here. That will probably put paid to the Tech 1 bomber aggression. And I lost all 4 of these mexes. That is unfortunate, because that's not going to do any good for my mass. I've actually I've built these 3 factories, but I can't afford to run them. That's how bad that is. So all that mass I put into these is wasted. And my opponent, Voodoo, here, has got 10 mass more than me because he used his mass to rush Tech 2 mexes. So, that raiding really punished me. My raiding, however, really punishing Frozen Bite down here, look. These 3 Mantis wailing on these engineers. Not just in this location, but also further south. And I think this is when I realized I was a long way behind, because I start raiding and I see there's a T2 ringed mechs in the middle of nowhere. That is never a good sign, but it actually turns out that's his only T2 mechs. I panicked that I was like 50 eco behind. But it actually wasn't. Hashtag scouting. There we go. Trying to deal with some of this raiding up here, but my Mantis is challenged there. He fails to deal with a Hunter. Almost all the shots missed. A PD in the base here to defend. Another PD up here. There's raiding going on all over the place, actually. This is a very aggressive map. Something I really like to see in the 3v3s is you get a lot more aggression. This is actually really good for Chucklebun. He's actually managing to pick off quite a lot of units for free here with his ACU. He actually picks up a vet, which almost doubles his regen, which is even better. This is great for Chucklebun here. It's going to relieve a lot of the pressure. Meanwhile, more raiding down here. Will I manage to out-micro these 2 Mantis? Maybe? No, doesn't look like it. And another T2 mechs. Very unfortunate, so let's go back to there. So Chucklebun has lost his air control. He is giving up a few rating points to his opponent, obviously 13 to 14, so 100 rating here. My ASF turn up... ASF? Getting ahead of myself here slightly. Some inties turn up, because I'm supposed to be trying to provide some air cover. This is such an annoying little shit of a raid. Bruh. What a monster. Can I even get the engineer? Yes, I can, because he has the veterancy. But Freshy is kind of... Voodoo, sorry, is running away with the eco game. Managed to do some counter inti fighting here. Not very well by the looks of it. Oh, God. So many anti-airs. What a monster. Losing a whole bunch. This is a terrible fight for me. Look at the numbers. That's awful. But I'm probably concentrating on something else. What's going on? I'm stalling mass! No! Please! I'm building a PD here because it's been raided so many times. These bombers are at least locked. Trying to set myself up in the middle of the map. I'm doing a gun upgrade. I do have a T2 mechs, but I'm stalling so much mass that I've had to... These factories, they are on. One of them is on. Two of them are... This one is upgrading to T2. Okay. Oh, no. No, don't tell me I've done it. I am, in fact, making 2 land HQs. Whoops. You know, these things happen in the heat of passion, Jimbo. It is what it is. So that might be a slight reason why I'm down on units right now. Things are not looking good for me. Voodoo is posturing very aggressively in the middle of the map. And he is threatening this move. I, however, have managed a great raid here, so I'm just raiding with small amounts of Mantis. Killing off his mexes. Not great, such a great move there. But this is just brutal. Keep getting these 4 mex locations raided. Your opponents will have to build PD. Is he going to cancel my gun? Did he cancel my gun here? Looks terrible for me. There's no... Thankfully, there's no artilleries, but there is... This is 30 Mantis. I'm taking a lot of damage. I have paused everything. I think I paused everything in my base to try and get this finished. I don't want to cancel. Poor Boho has to move in his army here to protect me. I do manage to complete gun, but obviously I lose 3/4 of my health. Not sure if that's a bad idea, guys. You have to let me know about that. This raid, I should have moved these units back to my PD, but, you know, it is what it is. It looks like I'm going to be able to clean up this raid here without too much damage. Boho is taking a huge amount of damage from the Cerberus here. He didn't manage to kill this. It's left on like 100 hit points, which is awful. I'm doing stealth, but that seems dubious. Voodoo is almost here. He's going to walk straight into my ACU. And up at the top, well, poor Chucklebum still hasn't been able to reclaim this. Still hasn't been able to hold his own mexes in the back of his base. So that is fairly disastrous. Eco-wise, we are down 50% mass, which is horrible. Do I know about this? I can see it on the map. I really need to cancel this before he gets in range. Yes, I do. But that's awful. That's another 1,000 mass wasted. He obviously has gun as well, but... And the same amount of regen, but he's got twice as much health. This is looking very bad for me here. I now can't do anything about my allies. I'm still trying to get these goddamn mexes. I lost them all again, 3rd time in a row. I need that veterancy really bad. We just have to stay out of range of Voodoo's ACU. I actually thought these were Mercies or something, but they weren't. They were just Inties. They could have been bombers, and I could have died for sure. But he's somehow gotten in range. I guess his movement was just better than mine. Try and clear out the Inties, but I think it's a bit late for that. And I'm down into the red before the fight's even really begun here. Meanwhile, Boho has just gone YOLO in. He's just decided to go all in over here in the corner. And I'm going to decide to be a little piece of garbage and start trying to kite around this mountain because it's really my only hope of surviving. Voodoo can, of course, control K me at this point, but he doesn't want to, right? He really desperately does not want to control K on me. So I can mitigate all of his DPS here. And as long as I can keep skirting around here, I can survive. I'm on unit priority as well, which should help a little bit. Probably should have kept my tanks closer to my ACU. They get overcharged there, which is bad. But again, I really don't want them to block my ACU. Maybe I could have moved here. Now I see he's going to fire on me, so I run back the other way. And my health is so low, I get bumped. Overcharged there. I'm close to another vet, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, and I die. It's very sad. And whilst that has been happening, Boho has gone absolutely YOLO in. He's taking out all these T2 mexes at the back here belonging to Voodoo. But this PD is now not going to finish. That just gets blown up randomly. Not sure what happens there. The two top players are locked in an eternal battle, not going anywhere. But downstairs on the bottom is absolute carnage. Voodoo is getting collapsed onto here. We'll split again. He gets collapsed down here. But Boho is just going in. But he's not keeping his ACU with his units. We keep the camera in the right place. This wall of PD is working. It's taking a lot of health off of Voodoo. There's a whole bunch of arties as well. A gunship comes out. That's going to be really... This is what he's building. I was saying, you know, build PD, I think, in the chat. But he's going for gunships, which is really smart. It's actually a good play that he's doing this whilst obviously microing his ACU here. It's a big shame he doesn't have nano as well. Voodoo is very low here. The flak, though, is probably going to save him if he can just avoid the artillery shot. Oh, he doesn't. Down to 200 hit points. The gunship goes down. He eats another artillery shell down to 100 health. Meanwhile, Boho orange down here for my team. He's just YOLOing in the base. Just firing his overcharge all over the place. Another gunship comes out. The flak is still here. Will he manage to get Voodoo? It's so close. Yes, it does. The ACU dies, so Voodoo dies, and at this point, Boho is just in real trouble, and that's going to leave poor Chucklebun up here, who's, you know, not living his best life, really. Alone. Now, Orange Boho here, what he should be doing is this. He should be going into the pond to avoid this DPS. He can pop in and out. Maybe he could even get the T3 Air HQ if he did that. But instead, he's trying to walk up here, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's what he's doing. He's also trying to make micro this base, so, you know, you can't really blame him. But he's going to go down to Tech 1 bombers. And that leaves things in an absolutely disastrous position, right? Mass-wise, we're ahead now because of all this T2 mechs losses. But map control and units-wise and APM-wise, things look bad. Things look real bad. If you go onto our view here, this is a very chaotic game. Chucklebun is going to start TML. Unusual choice. Now, one of the reasons that I had very little units, apart from the fact that I had 2 HQs like an idiot, is that I was working on this T3 HQ. So one of the things I've been trying to do recently in 3v3 is trying to get to T3 land a lot quicker. Now, you might look at 1755 and go, Derp, my man, that is not a particularly fast T3 timing, and it's not. But I have just been trying to make sure I get to T3 and produce T3 units, because I have this habit of getting stuck on T2 and then just dying slowly. And that's what I was trying to do this game, just get to some T3 units. And it looks like this time that is going to pay off for Chucklebun, who now does have the ability to produce bricks. That's what he's going to be working on. He does have more mass. He has managed to take and hold these mexes, which is very nice. He's built a wall. He went for the Donald Trump approach. Very, very UEF of him. Picking off these units. He can actually take these in a straight fight with the ACU, so that's good. And you can see in the chat, we're going to start trying to help him, but you have to be really careful not to overload someone who's already dealing with 3 bases. I hate it when people like start spamming pings and stuff. I'm like, oh, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Too many bases. 2v1, 2v1. These bricks are going to tear this force apart. The question is really just how much damage that we will take from this. And really whether Chocobun can do anything, because if he waits, he's going to be at a significant disadvantage. 2 players versus 1 is always bad. Nearly got a veterancy on that brick, but it does go down. This is a very weird... Look at these 2 squares. Completely not... not the best engagement efficiency there in that combat. This one is a question of how much we will lose in this base. But this will end up being a Mastination just because the bricks are so strong. The recent nerf to mech's hit points, especially Cybran mech's hit points though, means that they are very squishy. And this is an attempt at a snipe here. That's a miss. He's going for it again, I guess. He's only got T1 units here versus T2. This is a very, very dangerous proposition. That's another TML snipe attempt against this stealthed Freshy. That's a hit. One more and he's dead, but obviously at that range it's very hard to hit him. That's a great, great TML there by Chocobun. Going for the only skill shot in the game, really, is the TML on the ACU like that. Now, these bricks and loyalists, very strong, but just have to get them into action. That Tech 1 army got really killed down here. Oh. And you can see in chat that we're saying that he should probably just try to push. Because enemy is now up to T3 air. And we're saying he's probably going to die to whalers. Because what happens in 3v3 a lot is that one person will get to T3 air. They'll make T3 gunships. And they'll just go for the ACU, which is very sensible. I would prefer that he went all the way back. But, you know, it is what it is. We don't have T3 air. We have T1 air, because I never got to T2. So making mobile T3 AA would probably be the best plan. The whalers are now on the field, so we're right in our suspicions. So we see the whalers. They're starting to kill the mexes, and there's very little we can do about this. And this will just crush all of our production, if not worse. I actually think it might have been better just go straight for the ACU, but there's quite a lot of flak here, a couple of shields, and this is quite a chunky boy. He's got T2 on here, he can build Tech 1 railguns, so perhaps not quite enough to kill him. So going for the eco is a good shout. There's a whole bunch of Voodoos here, Volthus, and they actually can fight the gunships. You don't see this very often, but gunships can use their main weapon on other gunships. They don't normally, but they can. And that's actually going to prove very effective because the ASF are not brought in. We lost a whole bunch of mexes here. And Team 1 now pull ahead in eco, as you might expect. No anti-air here either, so yeah. Boho says no air, no victory. Not strictly 100% correct, but usually somewhat true on a map like this. The longer the game goes on, the more chance there is that someone is just going to dump some strats on your face. And instead of going for air, Chocobun is going to go for the well-renowned 22-minute mongoose push against whalers. Now, that might not be a meta strategy, but at this point, I feel like if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound, right? We might as well just go for it. He's going to die to air anyway. And you can see the eco is spiraling rapidly out of control. Team 1 almost up to 200, and we're actually dropping in eco all the time. So, I'm not sure why my dead teammate is telling me he's a slowpoke. He's dead. Not sure what that means, but probably should have just gone in the water, bud. You could have lived. The mongoose are being mongai. They are being quite effective. It's about as far from a meta attack or timing attack or that you can possibly get in the game, this right now. Especially with his ACU being so far behind. And actually potentially pick off, like before when it was his ACU was with the army, it was easily defensible, but now not so much. This base probably going to go down to these units. Meanwhile, this mongoose push is going to run into rhinos, and rhinos are going to demolish mongoose in a straight up fight. All the PD died. And if those whalers just collapsed onto Chucklebun right now, they could definitely kill him. But this game is just a little bit wild. We're now at half the eco of Team 1, so Team 2 is really, really behind in eco. When you get to this kind of, let's say you're down by double, the game is sort of not really recoverable a lot of the time. That doesn't apply in low-rated games. Where you air, where you AA. Well, he got chopped down to almost half health immediately by those gunships there. In comes some shields and flaks, which does shoo away the whalers. And poor Chucklebun is struggling, but he's brought that T3 army up. And this gives him a very sizable block. This is a lot of mass. This is like 20,000 mass, probably, of units right here. And he could do stuff with it. And at that point, knowing what we can see, we know there's a big airbase here. And just like, you might as well go in, right? So I think in the chat, yeah, the longer you wait, the worse it gets for you. Don't wait, go all in. I think that's the best choice at this point. Like, he needs to do damage. He needs to cripple the enemy. Look at all this PD that's come up, though. Poor loyalists. The ACU, again, very vulnerable at the back here. Some gunships could quickly come in and knock him down. The bricks are actually tanking for the mongoose, which is not exactly what I was expecting. Attack ping on here, that's not by me, I can assure you that. But this brick army is going to absolutely rinse the T3 Air HQ here. But already, Frozen Bite is producing his own bricks and massing up quite a force here. He's cutting off the reinforcements. Chucklebun is going to find himself completely cut off and surrounded in a minute by all of with just his army. He does have production up here and in the middle, but that's really all he's got to work with his ACU. Luckily, killing these T3 mexes brings Team 1 back down 100 eco again. That kind of levels the playing field. Look at that. What a lovely teammate. I'll just blow some smoke up my own arse. I do enjoy, it's one of the rare games I probably am not raging in chat. That's the real true challenge. Would I cast a game where I was salty? I'm not sure. It depends how good it was. I feel like this is the thing I've been most worried about, is that Chucklebun's going to send his army in a big long line like this. A big long conga line of wiggling bricks, because they do wiggle a bit when they walk. And then his ACU is really exposed. Now he's got a couple of bouncers in here. This one's got a whole bunch of veterancy. Look at that, 3,000 veterancy. This army is absolute MVP. 7,000 mass killed on that brick. Oh my god. And Freshy is in trouble here. He needs energy storages, but he's in real trouble. If Frozen Bite and Freshy can coordinate here, so Freshy's going to be real smart and escape. But he's clicked up here. Oh, I think that was supposed to go round. Is that what happened? He misclicked there. Now he's here, and but he's got stealth. We don't see it, but I've pinged out the ACU from a scout. Now we're ahead in eco somehow. I guess there's been some ecoing going on. Yeah, it's just random reclaim. But if both the ACUs converge on him, they can still win. This army's actually kind of out of range here. And this is it right now. Oh, he pre-dodged it. He outgamed him. This is it for the win right here. There's the TML snipe. It hits him. In come the bricks, and it doesn't matter what's going on with this army. If the bricks kill him, he's down to half health. Frozen Bite, if only he was in there at the same time, I feel like they could have got that kill. Things now firmly back in our control. I'm having a bit of a celebration because I enjoy a good 1v1 at the end of the game. But Frozen Bite giving up 300 rating points to his opponent now. He's not out of the game, but he's behind. He's got this production here. But he's up against 3 bases, and I guess it doesn't really feel like he can do very much because he's going to walk straight into the army. Well, that was a wild one. That's such a chaotic game. What we would call a clown fiesta, I think. Nobody was playing very well, but it ended in an amusing and fun to watch game. There we go. Look at Voodoo being ahead because of his early mech strategy, capping all the T2 mechs before he kind of like pushed out, made extra factories. That ended up being quite smart in this game, I think. Wasn't quite enough to save him after he did that push, but that's probably the smartest play. I will learn from that. Thanks very much for watching. I'm going to leave you with Discount Keyboard Cat, but I'll see you next time.